This is a special edition of Late Night Health. I'm Mark Alyn. I'm really happy to talk with my friend Harrison Kline. You can find out more about Harrison. We have his website up there for you right now. IamHarrisonKline.com is the place to go. Harrison is, I'm going to read from his bio here, an award-winning personal growth transformationalist with a business growth consultant whose mission is to personally change 1 million lives across the globe. And I think you only have, 12 or 15 more to go?
I'm down to 6.
Down to 6. 6 more. Okay. See, I haven't talked to him in a couple of weeks, so he's helped more people. We're going to talk about
this.
We're going to talk about the emotional laws of success, and maybe even get into a little bit of sleep help too. Does my emotions actually impact or help success? And the success can be defined to me financially, health-wise, relationship-wise. So do emotions really play that important of a part?
Yes, they are the extraordinary foundation of success, and whatever you define as success is emotional. What you emote is what you basically get back in this world. It's a very, very clear and clean, boomerang universe. And it operates on the basis of vibration. And vibration basically is frequency. And what you send out, you get back. That's the law of reaping and sowing, right? So it's called karma, or as you sow, so shall you reap, et cetera, et cetera. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. What goes around comes around. Those are all emotional states. So emotions and vibrations are words for each other. They're just, there's an equal sign between them. So what you vibrate is what you are emotionally putting out there. So, and what you emote basically by the law of resonance has to come back to you. And the law of resonance is that it states that only similar emotions or only similar vibrations can harmonize. So you can only harmonize with what you are emoting. So if you want success, you have to emote success in order to have that come back to you. There's been a lot of talk in the last couple of years about emotional intelligence. I read those books and I went deeply into the topic, and I realized that they left the foundational piece out, which is the emotional portion of it. So that's what I created, the emotional laws of success. And they're really more important to success than intelligence. They're more important to success than strategies. They're more important to success than tactics, because success is relational, right? So you have to have a relation with somebody in order to create a buying or a successful experience with another human being.
And of course, emotions are related to health, mental health in this case.
100%, because it's the piece of your mental health that allows you to create and live in a state of well-being. So there are definitely laws that are involved in that, and the laws of those things, and those laws determine and govern the experiences that you bring into your life by the law of attraction, by the law of correspondence, and a number of other different things, which we can enumerate and go down if you want to do that. And I'd love to.
The law of correspondence, is that me writing a note to you? Is that what that means?
But yeah, you could entail that. But the law of correspondence basically is about, the fact that I just stated, that, you can only experience anything that has a similar vibration to what you're radiating. So it corresponds. So it's a law of resonance. It resonates with what you are. So, and in this world, the big insight, gigantic insight, which most people don't, tune into or get or understand on a visceral level is that we get in this world what we are, not what we want. There's no amount of strategy that can get you what you want. It has to be what you are. So when you have to be successful internally before you can be successful externally. You have to be happy before you can express happiness. You have to decide to be in that state of mind. So the second law is the law of identity, which is the laws of the I am, which is all the laws of the I am. And the laws of the I am basically are the laws of being. So I am this or I am that. And every time you use that expression, you are sending a signal to the universe. These are instructions to the universe to play out whatever you attach to the laws of success or the laws of I am.
When we spoke the last time, you gave me a tip. You said, say I am happy. I am successful. I am a talk show host. I am a whatever it is. You gave us that tip last time. And of course, your website is I am Harrison Kline. So
right.
You're walking the walk.
I am not only walking the walk, but I've dedicated my life to that experience, to the I am love, I am unconditional love. I've dedicated my life to the values of success and to the highest expression of that situation. So yes, the I ams are fundamental and rudimentary to everything that we want to accomplish in this life. So my recommendation to the listeners and to the viewers of this thing is to get a series of I ams that you say every morning, every evening, and when you're driving, when you're on the can, when you're eating alone. I am wonderful, I am terrific, I am sensational, I am a great salesperson, I'm a great doctor, I'm a great teacher, I'm a great, wonderful. And as you do that, when you say it with conviction, when you say it with real emotion, that then penetrates the subconscious level, the level that governs our behavior. So it penetrates the subconscious level to program ourselves into the expression, into the experience of what I am, whatever I am. The law of I am is I am what I am, which is what God told Moses at the burning bush. I am what I am. He said, what is your name? He said, I am that I am. So, and I am that I am. So when we use the laws of identity, we create an identity through the words I am. First of all, it puts us into the here and now. So whatever I am being that at this particular moment. That's the law of being, which is the same law as the law of I am. I am happy. I am, having a good time. I am depressed. I'm angry. I am whatever it is.
Popeye the Sailor Man.
I'm Popeye the Sailor Man.
I am what I am. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man.
Because I eat my spinach.
Yes, exactly. Even though it was canned spinach and probably, at that time, it was probably non-GMO.
Yeah, you have to steam it and boil it nowadays.
Yeah, exactly.
We have the information to know the difference.
You mentioned vibration, and to me, I think we're all energy. Isn't that what we are? And vibrations and frequencies, it all boils down to energy.
Everything is energy. There is nothing but energy. And energy, if you put an equal sign, energy is love, energy is awareness, energy is consciousness, energy is experience, energy is all the things that we experience are all energy. And Einstein said energy is neither created nor destroyed. It simply is transformed. And so we are eternal beings, and whether your people believe that or not, or whether they believe that they die or not, it's still in this lifetime, we're still in the energetic phase. So your energy determines your intelligence, your energy determines your success, it determines what you attract into your life. And energy is the fundamental substance that makes all the difference in everything. And if you really deal with the fact that energy is everything, energy is love, and it is the infinity of all things.
We have a mutual friend, Robert Clancy,
Yeah.
And Robert's teaching is love makes the world go round, or the universe
Yeah,
go round.
it is the center of it is the center and the primary force of this universe. The entire primary force of everything in the universe. There could be no universe without love.
I know we're
And
talking about the emotional laws of success, but right now with COVID, people are experiencing the law of frustration. We're pack animals. We like to be with others. You were talking about people who are coming in to the Miami area where you live. I've had people come into the LA area, and I don't want to be near them. They're on an airplane with, I don't know, 50, 60 other people. Who knows if they're wearing masks? I just got a note from one of the airlines. From now on, if you're on our airline, you got to wear a mask, period, which is
yeah,
great. But
yeah,
it's a chance.
yeah,
And so my question is there a law of frustration here? And can we overcome it with an emotional law of love?
absolutely. Absolutely. So there is, the law of frustration follows the law of identity. I am frustrated. If you're telling yourself that, your inner self-talk is that is the signal to the universe, instructions in point of fact to the universe to take that out to completion, to take whatever you attach the words to I am, whatever words you attach to the statement of I am, it instructs the universe to take that out to completion. So if you're saying I am frustrated, you will experience frustration, and you can actually try and experiment with that in your body at this point. And you can say I am frustrated. I feel it right now in my shoulders and everything when I say that. Then you can say I am love, and what I feel immediately is my body soothes itself. It comes down into a soothing experience. So the negative emotions are part of the process as well, but love encompasses all those things, and the laws that I can talk about, which I'll do in a couple of minutes, I'll enumerate them. But the laws I talk about all encompass this whole I am principle. That's the second law of being. The first law of being is just being, existing. So existence is eternal. There's nothing beyond existence, because there isn't anything, and everything is the same thing. Anything and everything is the same thing. So so those laws are really important. So whatever you identify as yourself in any given moment is what you will experience as a visceral experience. And then if you can habituate a visceral experience you like, you can stay in it, where you don't have to repeat it. You don't have to repeat it over and over again. So, a lot of my repetitions are I am happy, I am wonderful, I am terrific, I am sensational, I am outstanding, I am spectacular, I'm having fun, I'm having good time, I'm with people I love, I'm, experiencing, financial abundance continuously, all those kinds of things, everything. And those things actually attract exactly what we're talking about. So exactly what they're talking about. And, if you get into a habitual state where you're repeating that, you only need about 10 days to create the momentum. If you do that 10 days in a row, and you just get a series of I am, by the time you're in 30 days or so, you have habituated the attraction portion of that, the law of correspondence. You've habituated that, then it gets internalized. And as long as you're doing it with emotional conviction while you're saying these things at the beginning, you will have internalized that and integrated it, and then you will be in a state of whatever that be: abundance, happiness, through great relationships, great identification of who you are and what you do, et cetera, et cetera.
One of the things that I've noticed, and again during this pandemic, is that there are people who I call energy vampires. Okay, and
Lots of
yes,
the whole
right, and so they have an emotional state, and they if you're around them, they seem to just suck everything out of you, and you leave these people and you go, oh my God, why did I spend time with them? And there are a couple of people that I will be friendly with, I will email, I'll talk to briefly on the phone, but I can't spend a great deal of time with them because of that. Is that because they're not following the laws of emotional success?
They're not following the law of correspondence. Number one, let me explain to you what emotional vampirism is so that people understand this very, very clearly. When you're in your lower chakras, or when you're in your lower consciousness, the lower consciousness having these emotions like frustration, anger, disappointment, fear, et cetera, et cetera. When you're in those places, you cannot generate energy. So you need to take energy from another source. The only other source you can generate energy from that you're not generating is friction. So you have to, so you create friction with other people, other things, so on and so forth. Like a spark generates, like when you frictionalize two stones or two pieces of wood, it generates a spark, which then creates a fire, ignites a fire, right? So that's how energy is created when you're in a low emotional state, because you can't generate, you're not generating your own. At the higher consciousness levels, love, happiness, joy, embracement, inclusion, so on and so forth, you are generating your own energy. So you're not taking it from anybody else. At the lower consciousness, you must take it from someplace because you don't have your own. You're in the negative state. So what you're doing is depleting and sucking as opposed to giving and growing. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
yeah, so anybody in the lower consciousness levels, regardless of whether it's mild or heavy, those are energy vampires of different sorts. I mean, there are many degrees of that.
And do you just personally, does Harrison just stay away from those people?
No, I'm strong enough at this point. It doesn't make any difference. I'm immune to all that stuff. I have come to the point of where, I deal with and I help a lot of people out of depression. I help a lot of people out of frustration, anger, disappointment, no success, so on and so forth. I'm immune to all that because I've elevated myself beyond that. I also have used for many, many years, from the time I had my first awakening experience, I use the fact that I know without a shadow of a doubt that I'm protected from those kinds of things. I have simply decided that I'm protected. So it's a decision to be protected and not be affected by that. One of the things I teach my depressed people is to say, I am beyond that, or this no longer affects me. And as you say that, again, by the law of correspondence, by the law of vibration, meaning that you will attract the energy that resonates with that, you actually come into well-being. This no longer affects me, and so they can rant all they want in anger. They can rant all they want in depression. They can say, oh, I'm so bad. They can complain about everything. And it doesn't have to affect you simply by the fact that you have made the statement that it no longer affects you. And that's an energy attraction. The law of correspondence protects you from the law of depletion.
And in doing that, so that it's like water off a duck's back.
Yes, it's like water off a duck's back. But the good thing is that if you're in a higher vibration, the higher vibration always lifts the lower vibration. So it dissolves the lower vibration. So happiness dissolves frustration. Happiness dissolves depression. Happiness dissolves, anger and stuff like that. Peace dissolves anger. So, you could say that anger is more powerful, but it's only more powerful in a very short amount of time. So that's, it's like, have you ever been in a room where a light bulb has burned out?
Of course.
So when the light bulb burns out 1 second before it burns out, it has a brilliant flash.
Right.
So that brilliant flash is the last surge of its energy, right? So on the negative side, before you burn out, you have a brilliant flash. It's a last survival hope, It's a last survival mechanism that you are the brightest just the moment that you burn out. But the rest of it, and that's where the impact comes from. The impact of the exploding light, or the expansive light, or the brilliant flash comes from. It's a survival mechanism for the last of that particular kind of energy. So the same thing happens in human beings and everything else. They are.
I just had a thought. It's a nova, the sun,
Yeah.
sun.
Yeah.
Before it dies, it novas, and then it collapses within itself.
Right.
I want to tell people that this is Late Night Health. Our guest is none other than Harrison Kline. You can reach out to him at IamHarrisonKline.com. He's an award-winning personal growth and transformationalist, and we are talking about the emotional laws of success as they relate to health, because everything comes back to health. You can have,
Yeah.
you can have $1 billion, but if you have bad health, what good is it going to do you, right?
Absolutely. That's foundational. Without health, you can't experience all the good things in life. You might be able to experience some of them, but you can't enjoy them in the same way. It takes a healthy well-being to experience things in a wonderful way. So otherwise you're always in partial fragmentation of some sort.
Have you noticed that people over the age of, say, 50, they get together, whether it's on Zoom now or in person before the pandemic, and they go, and how many drugs are you on? How many times have you gone to the doctor this week? I've got 4 appointments next week. Well, I've got 5. I'm taking 16 pills. I as somebody who believes in alternative health, I still believe in some big pharma products, but it's sad to me that people, that's what they talk about.
Well, I don't live in that world very much. My friends and I, by the law of correspondence, we don't experience those kinds of challenges and issues very much. It is more of a rarity than it is a continuum. So
I have to hang out with you more then.
You've got to.
Yeah, I've got to.
You're welcome to. So
thank you.
Yeah. So
thank
yeah.
you.
So all those kinds of issues and circumstances are because we are not giving love to the proper parts of us. So when you are having a pain in your knee, there's something wrong with the way the knees represent, kind of something, and the ankles represent something. Your body parts correspond to emotional states. So, your feet, for example, are correspondent to the moving forward of your desires, moving forward toward your desires. Your back and your hips are supportive of your, of whatever it is you want to experience in life, and so on and so forth. So I don't, I can't go through all those, hip bone,
Sure.
head, neck.
Wait, what was that song? The knee bone's connected to the thigh bone.
The bone,
anyway.
all that.
Yeah. Right.
So can't go
Harrison,
through all that.
As we've only touched, I think, on 2 of the emotional laws, because I've kind of taken us this way, but what is the main emotional law of success that people need to do to achieve success? And as I said earlier, and as you've said earlier, success is just not only financial. It's relationships. It's having friends. It's having great health.
Yeah, there's one that's really primary, and it's the law of intention. So what you intend to have happen is what happens. Most people are not conscious of their intentions on a daily basis. They go to work, but they don't have an intention for what they're going to experience at work. They, take care of their kids, but they don't have an intention of how they want to make their children feel. They don't have an intention about putting love into what they cook. They don't have an intention about it. The law of intention is primary. So it's primary and it's a priority. When you choose an intention for something, that's what you experience. I cannot tell you how many people come and they say, okay, well, I'll give you an example. I'm meeting with my relatives. We have a family reunion at a barn somewhere out, there, but I can't stand 80% of my relatives. So, I'm really reluctant to want to go there, and I'm frustrated. So I say, make it your intention to have the best time of your life when you get there. Make sure you have that intention. And when they go, they have a much better time than anything they had preconceived about. So the law of intention is primary. You want to be a success in life, you intend to be a success. You integrate that by your intention. You want to.
Can you show us how to set an intention? What do we say? Well, how does that work?
Okay, let's go back for a second. The more times you intend something, the greater becomes the experience the way you want it. So the question was, what was the question about intention? I'm sorry.
Yeah, how to set that intention? And actually saying I am successful is an intention. I am healthy is an intention.
Right.
Is it just that simple?
Yes, it's just that simple. But you have to give it emotional generation. You have to generate an emotional state with it. So without generating the emotion, it has no impact. So it's neutral. So, but if you generate and you say, I intend with some emotion, give it some things like that, you are actually programming yourself. You're programming yourself for the experience you want. And we are reality creators. Human beings are reality creators, and we create our own reality. And if you understand that, the law of intention is everything, because it becomes the deliberate creation of what you want to have happen in your life. So,
I promised to keep Harrison for about 15 or 20 minutes. We're over 25 minutes now, and we'll need to wrap up. Harrison, I so enjoy talking to you, and you make life easy. And I don't know if you can feel it at home, but the energy that Harrison shares is absolutely incredible. I highly recommend and encourage you to go to IamHarrisonKline.com. IamHarrisonKline.com. Well, can we do this again in a month, 6 weeks?
Absolutely. And right now I have a program called the Emotional Laws of Success.com. So if you are interested in that, give me 10 seconds and let me enumerate these laws, right? There are 6 laws, and then there's 6 portions of that laws, and I'll just run through them. I won't explain all. The law of correspondence is a major law. The law of identity is a major law. Primary is the law of intention. Primary is the law of inclusion, not exclusion. Primary is the law of roles, moving from an old state of mind to a new state of mind. Law of roles, you create a role for yourself, whatever that role is. And the law of abundance. Those are the 6 major laws of emotional success. And then they include self-esteem. They include a big vision for whatever it is you want to do and be. They include a sense of destiny, so that you realize that your uniqueness is what brings your energy into the world. So you connect with that. You know what others are feeling, sympathy, empathy, and all those kinds of other things. You emotionally bond with other people. These are the laws, make that happen. And then you exude happiness and confidence. And confidence is the primary thing for financial and business and other particular kinds of success. Confidence is the realization and the belief that you are equal to the challenges of your life. of all the challenges, whatever life throws at you. So those are the laws of correspondence, identity, intention, inclusion, roles, and abundance. And all these, and they include everything that you need to make everything in the world happen for you that you want. And they're immutable and incontrovertible. And when you understand that, you simply apply them one at a time. You go deeply into it, and you cannot, it is the outcome of success in any way you want it, relationships, whatever, relationships, financials, health, etc., is inevitable. It cannot be broken. So very cool.
And really, and the I guess the basic understanding is you have to believe in what you're saying when you set it in intention.
You cannot make a choice that's effective without belief behind it. You can say I'm happy, but if you don't have some form of belief, some form of emotion to generate that I am happy, which is belief, your emotional intention is belief. So if you don't put that belief behind it, any choice that you make is ineffective. But if you put your emotion behind it, the choice becomes effective.
Got it. Wow.
Really dramatic understanding that people need to understand.
And you can start seeing change in your life within 10 days.
Instantly. Yeah, instantly. And if you do it for 10 days in a row, you create momentum. And that momentum then will carry you until it's habitual, 30 days out. And when it's habitual, it's integrated, internalized, and then you no longer have to worry about it. It just will generate by itself. Really big insight, and this is primary to everything that people need to know. We get in this world what we are, not what we want. Really, the most powerful insight you can have for anything you want to do.
Well, next time we have to talk about things like predestiny, and because I want.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm gonna have to. I'll write notes. Harrison and I wrote almost simultaneously. What are we talking about? We couldn't remember. We wrote it down. We couldn't find the thread. Harrison, thank you very much. I really appreciate it. Again, the website is iamharrisonkline.com. You have another one too?
Yeah, if you're interested in the emotional laws, it's the emotional laws of success.com. And we just did a seminar on that, and we are doing reiterations of that seminar. And it's incredibly cheap. You can, it's not even the amount of a meal to get the seminar. So you may go out to a restaurant, spend $25 to $50 or $100 for a meal. This is only $19.95, and you will get 2 hours of these laws deeply explained, very, very fundamentally integrative.
Well, we'll have that up on the screen as well. Thank you again. We will resume this for 4 to 6 weeks as you have time, and I appreciate you spending some time with me. I really do.
Always a pleasure, Mark. Always a pleasure, and definitely always fun. So all good things to you, your listeners, your viewers, and all that kind of stuff. And please, bring yourself into the highest states of well-being you can, because that will make all the difference in your life, in your health, in your relationships, in your love. So. And
as you can see, Harrison is Superman. He's right next to Wonder Woman, who's Marbeth, right there. Right. I'm Mark Alyn. This is Late Night Health. We'll be back very soon. Bye-bye for now.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Harrison.